How's it hanging, YouTube? It's Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back. So, really excited to do today's video. This is the start of a new series of videos called Costly Keys that I'm doing with my very good friend Efrin from Passpoint Comics. How are you doing, Efrin?
Peter, hey, how's it going over there? Let's get going.
Really excited to do this, Efrin. So this is a new series of videos we're going to start doing where we're looking at expensive books. And this has kindly been supported by a group that you reached out to, Zap-Kapow Comics. Tell us a little bit about how you made this happen.
So Zap-Kapow is a website where you can input your comic books. You know, whenever you collect comic books, you know, like have them in a program, so to speak. And then that program, you just type in, like, say, Uncanny X-Men, and it pulls up all the volumes of Uncanny X-Men. You pick which one you want to choose. And then you type in the number, like say Uncanny X-Men number 100. It takes you to that comic book. And then you can check off, I have one of them, I have two of them. And there's different grades, like from 9.8 to 0.5. And then there's also a description box on there where you can say, this is in box number 1, for example, or box number 50. So when you pull it up, you'll know which box it's in if you want to grab it. They do blogs on their site too. They come out with more than one a month. I think they do them on a weekly basis.
Wow.
I seen that they had one for X-Men. I go, well, that'd be good for us to do. So we can do the top 10 costly keys of X-Men. I then asked them where they pulled this information from. And they say they pulled their list by filtering from their database. Zap-Kapow averages several sales areas for comic books, including online auction sites, comic shop retailers, and other industry resources.
Wow.
So that's where they get all their information, and they do this like on a weekly basis. So we're going to be using them on a weekly basis. Yeah.
And the list they've provided is fantastic. What I would say is what we're going to do in the video today is go through their top 10.
Yes.
Of their key X-Men books. They've given a kind of an estimated price in dollars for the value of these books. And what I've done is I've gone back through the CGC database and tried to align it. So what we'll do is we'll give their estimated price, and then I'll be able to tell you what grade book that was and when the last sale was of it.
Cool.
We'll also talk a little bit about whatever the current or the most recent sale as of this video is of that particular book. So it'll not be the same grade, but it'll just be whatever's sold most recently on sites like eBay.
Okay.
So, costly keys. As Efrain said, we're going to be talking about the X-Men in this particular episode. And as we've said, this is supported by the guys at Zap-Kapow Comics. So big thank you to them. There's a link there to their website, and really encourage you to go and have a look at that. And Efrain, it might be nice in the future if we can reach out to them, tell them we've done these videos, and see if they want to come on with us or support one of the ways. So be really interesting. So starting at number 10, we've got not that one. that's X-Men number 1 from a while ago. I think there's about 4 billion copies of that, isn't there? So yeah, starting at number 10, we've got All New X-Men 101. Bit of a key book. Is this a book you've got, Efrin?
Oh, I got this book, yes. These are one of the books that I bought when I was a kid, Peter, and I just grabbed one of them.
Yeah.
I never thought about it when I was a kid, you know. It cost 30 cents, you know. I just, cool, reading it. You know, this is the very first, I think, appearance of the Phoenix, you know.
Yeah,
so
it is. So
yeah,
big key book, first appearance of the Phoenix. That one there, that particular copy, I've got the image from, signed by Stan Lee. I love this book, but I haven't got a copy. So I did have a copy. And my friend Luke from Hydra Collectibles will kill us for saying this, but I had a CGC copy, and it was a pence version, so a UK price stamp version. And I got rid of it because it was pence, with the intention of buying a cents version. And then the prices just went mental with it, really, and I just couldn't. I didn't pick it up again. So a lovely, lovely book. Like you say, first appearance of Phoenix. I believe it's also the first appearance of Black Tom Cassidy.
Wow.
The guy who hangs around with the Juggernaut. I don't think they've done much with that character, to be honest. But yeah, so a bit of a key book.
Cool.
Now, Zap-Kapow have got that down with a dollar value. And can I just say, all the prices we're going to quote you here are dollars. But I am British. So if I slip up and say pounds, just ignore it. We're talking dollars, right?
Yeah.
So they've got this valued at $1,300. And when I had a little look on the CGC census, that's around about a 9.2 to 9.4 graded book. Last eBay sale I could find was a CGC 6.5 in January of this year, 2022, and that went for about $600. So it's not a bad priced book if you don't mind going for a lower grade.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's one of those keys that's just going to continue to rise from. I think the Phoenix character is so popular, and then the Phoenix Force is just ongoing, isn't it? It never seems to end. I think everybody in the Marvel universe has had the Phoenix Force by now, haven't they?
I think so.
It just seems to go around in circles and go to everybody. What did you think of the X-Men movies? Because they've tried to do this storyline twice now, haven't they?
Yeah. I think when X-Men movies first started out, they were really good. But as they went on, and unfortunately, the two Phoenix ones from who did them, 20th Century Fox, they just weren't that good. But I think these books are going to go up, are going to be more costly. X-Men books in particular, once Disney starts rolling them out.
Oh, absolutely, Efrin. And I think, if anybody's watching and they're wanting to play the spec game or get comics that make increasing value, I think X-Men, a bit like Spider-Man, I think X-Men's a pretty secure bet. I think all of these books are going to go skyrocketing once they enter the MCU. Number 9 on the list is this beauty. So this is X-Men number 9. Have you seen this one before, Efrin?
I've seen this one before, and I love crossovers when teams get together and fight, so I think I may have this one, but it's like a reprint, but I don't think I have the original copy.
So I have a copy of this one. This is here. It's a very low grade. It's only a 2.5 CGC. Lovely book. I picked this up purely for the spec because it's, as you've said, it's the first real crossover between the X-Men and the Avengers. Also the first appearance of a character called Lucifer.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, that's that guy there with the purple costume on.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's ever been anything since that. I don't know. But I think, like you say, if the X-Men are coming to the MCU, it's inevitable, isn't it, that we're going to have some kind of Avengers X-Men crossover. I mean, that's going to be huge, I would have thought. Lovely book. And I quite like that cover. I like the original costumes and everything on it. It's quite a nice cover.
Yeah, so, I have a soft spot for the original outfits or costumes for the X-Men. I don't know. Yeah, that Kirby goodness, Yeah,
you can't beat a Kirby classic, can you, really? Yeah. So this book, Zap-Kapow got it down with a value of $1,500, and that's for a 7.5, which was sold in January 2022. So a bit of a pricey book, really. Last eBay sale, again in January, for a CGC 6.0 that I could find was $877. So number 8, we've got X-Men number 7. So this is the first appearance of Cerebro.
Oh, wow.
So Prof X's mind-enhancing helmet, which has been a staple of the X-Men all the way through, really, hasn't it? It's been referenced in multiple movies. Tremendous bit of kit that Prof X uses, and like you say, it's stayed the test of time. It's been around for a long, long time. Not a comic I've got that one. Don't know about yourself, Efrin?
I think I may have it. I'm not sure. I have so many comic books, I just don't remember.
So Zap-Kapow got this valued at $1,700, and that's for a CGC 8.0. Last eBay sale of this at a CGC 6.0 was for $598. So a bit of a price difference there. And again, that was in January. Bit of a big book. I'm not sure if it's a one I would rush out to get straight away. Cerebro is it is a big important part of X-Men history, but it's not for me particularly a big key book, that one, I don't think. Okie doke. Next, that's an interesting cover. I'm not sure I like that one, the blues and whatnot. So this is X-Men number 5. Any idea what you think this might be the first appearance of?
X-Men number 5. Let me see here. First appearance of the Blob?
No, it's the second appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Oh, wow.
It's actually the first appearance of Asteroid M.
Oh, wow.
Magneto's asteroid. So again, a bit of an interesting one, that one. like I say, I don't know that cover particularly jumps out for me. What do you think of it?
No, I don't like this cover that much myself. I mean, I was just looking at Iceman. He's throwing a snowball. Who's that going to hurt?
I mean, back in the day, that was pretty much all he seemed to do, wasn't it? Chuck
Yeah.
snowballs and yeah. I mean, he really got a good power upgrade, didn't he?
Oh, he did. Yeah, man. It's like,
So,
damn, this guy's so powerful now.
Yeah. So with this book, we've got it down as a $1,850 book.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find a recent sale on that one to work out what grade that was. The last sale on eBay was a CGC 3.0, and that was about $400. Bit of an interesting one, that one. I'm surprised that's lower down the list. I'm surprised it's higher graded or rated than something like First Appearance of Phoenix. But I guess it's an older book, isn't it? It's a much older book.
Yeah, that's a good point, Peter. I think I'd put Phoenix on top of all of these so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure age and rarity plays a big part in this, doesn't it? I tend to focus on collecting big key first appearances. This isn't a book that I would particularly go looking for, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, number 6, we've got X-Men number 3, which is the first appearance of the Blob, the character you just mentioned there. The Blob.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Blob?
God, I think he's always been a misunderstood character. I've never considered him really evil. I think he just wants to be, I don't know, kind of left alone. I mean, he's a bartender right now in the X-Men books.
Yeah.
So he's just more happier being a bartender, and where they're at in Krakoa. But he's been, I mean, I think this is such a costly keep. It's going back. It's like issue number 3 of the X-Men.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's costly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not a character I've ever really engaged with, to be honest. I think he was he in the Wolverine Origins movie? I think.
Yeah, he was in the very first Wolverine movie. They had a boxing match, Wolverine against the Blob.
That's right. Again, an interesting book. I do like that cover. I think it's an interesting cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, the Zap-Kapow have got down with a value of $2,700, and that's for a CGC 8.0. Last eBay sale was in January 2022 at a CGC 4.0 for $800.
Wow.
So again, a big difference again there. Again, is that I mean, you might already have it, Efrin. I don't know that that's a book I'll necessarily go running out to get based on the character, but I would probably want to pick it up because it's one of those early X-Men keys,
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason I would pick it up, is because it's an early X-Men key. But I don't remember if I have it now. I'm typing in my program right now, my Zap-Kapow, see if I have it or not. So if you want,
that's a really handy program to have, and that you can just check what you've got logged. So have you spent time to log all of your comics in that program?
Yes, and it's a one. Oh, by the way, this is a one-time fee.
Right.
You pay one-time fee, and then they update it every month with new comic books. And if they miss a comic book for some reason or another, I always tell them, "Hey, you missed this comic book." I take a picture of it, and they say it'll be in our next month's. They update it every month, and they say it'll be in our next month's updates.
So when you input the data, Efrin, are you physically having to say you bought X-Men 3? Do you have to type it in, or do you scan it, or send an image, or how do you do it?
If you want to go big screen for a second, I can show you really quick.
There we are.
So let me go back a page here. This is basically the website right here. Hopefully you can see it. Not it's too much of a glare.
That's all right. Yeah.
So I press this one, X-Men number 3, and I do have it.
You do have it.
I do have it. I have it at a CGC 4.5.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I do have this one. So it just brings it up here. There we go. That's better.
Oh, that's tremendous. So you see the image of the comic and everything.
Yeah.
So what's the initial fee for that then, Efrin?
I've had it for over 5 years now. I don't even remember what the fee is, but it's a one-time fee, and I mean, I like their ease of use. Cool.
Okay, so getting into the big numbers now, Efrin. Number 5. Oh, look at that.
Oh gosh.
So that is X-Men number 12, and it is obviously the first appearance of K. Marco, the Juggernaut. What do you think of that character?
I love this cover, and I love covers that just pop out at you.
Yeah.
And you can see why it's, a costly key. Well, first of all, it's the appearance of Juggernaut. And I could have sworn I had this book, but I don't. And then I said, dang it, did I misplace it? But I don't have this. Oh, Peter. Oh, gosh.
But you know what? There's a funny story with this book. It's not the highest of grades, I have to say. It's quite a low grade. Yeah. But there's a funny story with this book. So, I collect keys.
Yeah.
But I try to limit myself because it's such an expensive hobby that I try to limit myself to collecting hero key books. But a little while ago, a good friend of mine, I wanted to do something nice for him. So I thought I'd buy him first appearance of his first character. And I picked this up thinking that this was his favorite character. And then I was talking to someone else a while ago and they mentioned this other character. I thought, shit, I bought the wrong bloody book. And I had. So I had to then go buy the other book and give him that instead. Yeah. So I kept this one for myself. So, nice. So that was a mistake buy, but a nice buy nonetheless.
Those are books that are going to be hot, man. Just wait till they start coming out.
Oh, yeah.
We said that, that's going to be hot.
And it's just a fantastic character, a really fun character to watch. And he's been in a couple of X-Men movies. He's been in, Deadpool he was in, wasn't he? Yeah, I love the character. He was in X-Men as Vinnie Jones, who's a British actor, which was a bit rough, mind.
Yeah, more than good.
So, scores for this one. So, Zap-Kapow have got an 8.0 down for a rough price of $3,300. So it's a big money book. The last eBay sale I could find was for a CGC 4.0, and that again was in the thousands. That was $1,391. So it's an expensive book. It's a pricey book, which makes us pleased I've kept it. Yeah. So I'll get that one graded, I think, and see what it comes back as. But yeah, big book and a nice book to have in anybody's collection. And I hope they do something with the character. I hope we'll see another version of Juggernaut in the future.
Yeah. Do something right. Give him the proper justice that he deserves.
Yeah. So we're getting into number 4 now. So this is obviously X-Men number 2, and it is the first appearance of the Vanisher. Is this a book you've got, Efrin?
I'm checking.
I don't have this one in my collection. Again, I think the value is more based on it being a very early X-Men issue rather than any kind of love of the character of the Vanisher. I don't know that he's in a great deal. I don't know that he's been in much.
No.
He was in Deadpool. He was in the latest Deadpool movie, I think.
Oh, that's right. He was played by Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah,
that's Brad Pitt. I don't have this book. No.
No. I mean, it's another one of those X-Men keys that if you are wanting to complete a run or you are looking for early books, I would go for. I personally wouldn't be picking that one up because of any key characters in it. I'd rather save my money and get something bigger, I think. The cover's interesting. I don't know what to say about it, really. What do you think of that cover?
I think, to me, the background almost looks like the White House.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is it the White House? I don't know if it is.
I don't know if it is either. But I think these books, the closer we get, some of these books, it's costly because it's just the second issue ever of the X-Men.
Yeah.
That's why it's costly,
So, prices for this one, we've got an 8.5 with Zap-Kapow putting it around about $4,500. It's an expensive book. Yeah. Last sale on eBay in January 2022 was a CGC 4.5, and that was $1,600.
Yeah.
So again, still an expensive book. You're going to struggle to get a graded copy of that for a cheap price, I would have thought. A book that I think a lot of people will want just to say they've got a very early issue of X-Men because people can't afford X-Men 1, most likely. Yeah. That's probably most people's affordable early book, I would have thought.
I would choose other X-Men books before this one, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're into a top 3 now, Efrin.
Yeah.
What do you think we might see in the top 3?
Oh gosh, come on. We know it's going to be X-Men #1.
Yeah.
Giant size X-Men.
Yeah.
Gosh, what would be number 3 though? That's gosh.
I guess it's worth saying that this list, this list is literally X-Men books, so it doesn't cover things like first appearance of Wolverine and things like that. So we're looking purely at X books, and I think, like you say, X-Men 1's got to be in there, giant size X-Men. But there's another book that's shot up in value, which we'll get to in a minute. So third on Zap-Kapow's list. Oh, yeah.
Wow. I thought that would be number 2. I forgot. I sent you the list, but I forgot the order of
them. We've got giant size X-Men #1, which is a colossal book, an amazing book. You must have this one, Efrin, have you?
I have. I think I have 3 of them now. But
3?
Again, Peter, when this book first came out, I distinctly remember going to my comic book shop. I used to live in San Francisco. I seen a stack of them. And they were 50 cents. I grabbed one. I was like, what was I thinking back then? I was a kid. It's not. I was a teenager. I was about 15 years old when it first came out. But I just grabbed one. God, why didn't I just grab like a whole handful of them? I wasn't thinking, obviously, 50 plus years into the future, how much this book would be worth.
And I think this book's gone through the roof and will continue to rise because I don't want to say it's affordable because it's an expensive book. But it's the next best thing to X-Men 1.
Yeah.
I've got a copy, giant size X-Men 5.5, which is a nice book. And I picked this one up a couple of years back before kind of went really expensive and through the roof. And I'm so pleased I got it then because I don't know that I would be buying it now, I think. Massive mega X-Men key, got some incredible first appearances in there. We've got Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird, Nightcrawler, Illyana Rasputin. It's also, which is quite relevant, I guess, for the current X-Men line, it's also got Krakoa in there, his first appearance, or its first appearance. And that's obviously playing a big part in the X-Men books at the moment. So huge book, very, very valuable book. They've got it down as $7,300 for around about an 8.0 to 8.5. So it's a pricey book. But like I say, if you want a big X-Men key that's got key first appearances in it, your choices are really that or X-Men 1. This is probably the book that most people will go for, I would imagine, which might be pushing the prices up even more. So, number 2, Efrain, I think this is the interesting book of all these keys, really.
Wow.
Is X-Men #4. So, this is our first appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, first appearance of Mastermind, Toad, and those characters. The big pull on this book, but is obviously it's the first appearance of Quicksilver and, more importantly, Scarlet Witch.
Wow.
So, this book saw a massive spike when Wanda in particular got the TV series and all that kind of stuff. So it was really impacted heavily by the MCU and by Disney Plus, making it a very, very expensive book. Now, will that continue? I'm not sure. I don't know what you think, but I think we're already starting to see a bit of a dip with it.
Yeah, I think it's going to probably go up again. Well, maybe not, because they've already been introduced, these characters, not Magneto, and they have been introduced in movies. So curious to see if it's going to go up or down. But I can see why it's going down because they've already been introduced. And people are, like over the initial wave of, these characters coming out. But that's only time will tell, because they're going to X-Men first major villain they're going to fight on. I'm assuming in the Disney, universe is going to be Magneto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either Magneto by himself or with the Brotherhood.
They've got this one down at a value of $10,500, and I think that's for around about an 8.5 book at this point in time, which is huge. Last sale that I could find was October 2021, and that was for a CGC 7.0, which went for around about $6,500. So it's a lot of money. It's a big book.
So if you would get this book, would you prefer to be CGC or CBCS, or would you rather pay less and just get one that's not graded, but you don't know exactly what grade it will be, and if it's all in one piece?
That's a horrendously hard question to ask everyone.
You're welcome.
First of all, for a big key like this, my personal preference, I wouldn't be going for CBCS. You'll get it cheaper raw, obviously, but I've been stung with that in the past, and it's left a bitter taste. So I picked up a Journey into Mystery 83, first appearance of Thor, a couple of years back, raw copy, and it came back with a conserved grade, which basically meant that they thought at some point someone had replaced the staples, and that left a real bitter taste in my mouth. So I don't know. I think if you're paying a lot of money, which you are for these kind of books, you almost want the security of knowing that it's already graded and you know what you're getting, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's the main reason why I would get one CGC or, graded, because you don't know if the raw book, what it's been through, if it's been trimmed or, color's been added to it or staples, added to it or removed. So you take that chance.
Yeah.
And I would, I'd be pissed.
I was devastated with my Thor one. I've learned to live with it because it's the only copy of Journey into Mystery 83 I'll ever be able to get.
Yeah.
I bet you can't guess what's number one on the list.
Geez, what is number one? Now, come on. We all know. Yep. It's the very first issue.
X-Men number one. I mean, this is just a mega key, isn't it? I would love a copy of this. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
It's just an amazing book. First appearance of the X-Men, first appearance of Magneto. It's the book that started it all. And, these characters have continued. All of those characters have continued on for however many years. It's a mega key, isn't it? So Zap-Kapow have got a value down here at $90,000 for an 8.0, which is just insane, isn't it? Yeah. Last sale I could find on eBay was in December 21, and it was a CGC 4.4 for $17,450. It's huge. Now, I know from some of the sites that I'm on, Facebook sites and things in the UK, there's a gent selling a CGC 1.0, which presents very, very nicely for £6,000. So that's, I'm roughly guessing at your exchange, but $7,000 or $8,000 maybe. And I have to say, I have toyed and thought, and I don't know if this is what you would ever do, Efrin. I have toyed and thought with getting rid of a lot of my smaller keys and buying a mega key like that. But I just don't know if I can. I don't know, even if I was to do that and sell those books, I don't know that I can justify spending $8,000 on a comic.
I'm going to tell you offline how much I spent for my ASM 15. I won't tell you here.
I got, whoa, wind back. You've got an ASM 15.
I've never told you that?
Peter,
I'm so sorry. I have one.
I need to see it.
Yeah. You want me to go grab it real quick?
Yes.
All right, I'll be right back. You can put. Okay.
Shut up, Efrin. 3.5. Efrin, that is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So
I'm very jealous. That's an amazing book, Efrin. That's a big boy book.
I was 2 years old when this book came out, basically, about 2 or 3 years old. I went, damn it. I was like, why didn't my dad collect comic books? I went, dang it. But Peter, I would sell my whole collection, every freaking book. Somebody's asked me this question before. If I can get the first Hulk, X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, Fantastic Four, Avengers, I would sell the majority of my comic books just to get those books, and I'd be happy. To me, it'd be money well spent.
Okay, Efrin, so let's get back on track now. You've totally gutted us there. So, yeah, absolutely incredible, Efrin. That AF-15 is an absolute stunner. I've got some friends in the UK who I know are desperate to get a book like that. So, yeah, myself included. So, that was our costly keys, top 10. Were there any surprises in there for you, Efrin?
The surprise was number 2.
Yeah.
I thought number 2 would be Giant Size X-Men.
Yeah, so did I.
I didn't think I think more current X-Men books, like when I started at 97 or 98, would be in that list. And not to take away from the Vanisher, I'm surprised books. I know it's X-Men #2, but I'm surprised that they made the top 10. I think
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of not pricing, but just the popularity of a certain book.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you, Efrin. So this has been really interesting, Efrin. Thank you very much for joining us. And can I just give a massive shout out to Zap-Kapow? They've produced this list, which we've used obviously with their consent. Really interesting. And Efrin, I think we both agree it would be lovely to do future videos based on some of their lists.
Yes.
So we'll hopefully see more videos like this in the future.
For sure.
Okay, before we call it a night, Efrin, have you got anything on your channel you want to talk about?
I'm gonna be doing an interview, hopefully, really soon with this artist. His name is Livio Ramondelli. I met him at Emerald Con in Seattle. He does commissions and he does covers. He's really good at like doing. He's done He did the Transformer Back to the Future covers,
Right.
and he does other covers too. And I met him, and on like I said, in Seattle at Emerald Con. And I sent him a message in December. Hey, would you like to come on my channel and talk about your artwork? And he said yes. So I'm going to do that next, hopefully.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm just going to jump back to the stream a second. So we've got a few things coming up.
Yeah.
First thing I just wanted to mention, myself and a few other UK creators are starting a new show, first of which is on the 25th of January, called Boys and Their Toys, which is basically we're going to be talking about our love of action figures. First episode focusing on hot toys, something I've just started getting into, and it's an expensive hobby already. So yeah, that's a live show on the 25th. We've also got our What If series coming up on the 22nd, where we are reimagining Batman and coming up with new origins and new stories for him. So that's on the 22nd of Feb. And Efrin, we've got a couple of shows coming up in the future. So we've agreed that we're going to try and do some regular shows. So there's going to be hopefully this. Yeah. We've got our top fives, which are going to be monthly, and also our monthly comic picks, where we'll look a couple of months ahead at what our comics are coming out.
Advanced
lots going on both channels, haven't we?
Yeah.
So really nice to be working with you, Efrin, and I'm looking forward to our awards show, which again is something we can link to in the description below, and we'll see what winners from that.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Thanks very much, Efrin, and we'll catch you all next time. Take care now.
Bye, everybody.